Well, hello everyone and welcome to Vlogmas Day 19. It's a little bit of a sneaky vlog today because this is actually Liz from the past that's filming this, but all will make sense in a moment. First, let's do some advent calendars. For 19, we have the little cupcake. Chantal, the cupcake. So cute. Okay, the 19th, we have something different. What are these? Says Rolo. I don't know. We'll have to try it later and we'll find out together. And day 19 for Ulta, we have, what is this? An algae body oil. You're gonna have to read the instructions on what you're supposed to do with a body oil. Massage into dry or damp skin. Instantly improves the look of skin elasticity and deeply moisturizes. Well, we like those things. Very nice. So hello everyone, this is going to be my Vlogmas video for December 19th. This is the little weekend that I'm going away for a gathering with my friends, and I have decided not to vlog during that weekend so that I can fully enjoy my Christmas with my friends and not have to worry about taking my laptop and editing and cutting into some of our Christmas celebration in order to keep up with daily Vlogmas. So I have 2 days here where there's not going to be a real live Vlogmas video, but I still wanted to have something for you guys because even though I said before all of this started, like, there might not be vlogs every single day, it's still me, and it makes me feel better about not actually having a real video for this day. Is you still get something to watch, so you'll still get my advents and it will still feel like the 25 days of Vlogmas for you, even if I'm taking a sneaky 2 days off in the middle of it. It's not in my nature to just not upload for the day of Vlogmas. It's just, I can't do it. I've had 10 years of perfect attendance and I want 11 years of perfect attendance, even though it's kind of cheating. But fun fact about me that I'm not sure if I ever have said in the vlog, I probably have at some point. I've been vlogging for nearly 15 years. I'm sure at some point I have said this, but I had perfect attendance in school for 6th grade through graduating high school. I actually got a special award my senior year of high school because I had 7 years of perfect attendance. And technically I would have had 8 years of perfect attendance, but my parents took me out of school 1 day early for spring break in 5th grade. Obviously they didn't know that I was gonna have perfect attendance for the rest of my school career, but there was only one other student who had more days of perfect attendance than me. So he got an award and I got an award, and probably like the person who had like the 3rd best perfect attendance got an award when we graduated. So I had 7 years of perfect attendance. There was some cheating involved with that as well because when I was in middle school, their policy was if you checked in for the day, like as long as you were there for first period, you were considered there for the day. So, you know, middle school, I had a lot of braces stuff happening and appointments that happened during the day. So there were many days that I got checked out of school by my mom in order to go have braces appointments and stuff, but never had a like full sick day in middle school. And then in high school, our high school policy was very different because we were on block scheduling and you had to be in our classes were like 90 minutes long, and you had to be in class for at least an hour of the class to be considered present. So when I got to high school and I still had braces appointments, I could only be checked out 30 minutes early. So all of those appointments I had in high school, I could only miss 30 minutes of the last class of the day to be considered perfect attendance. So I really did have perfect attendance in high school, and there was one day, technically one day, there was only one day that was a little like what's happening with Vlogmas, where I had perfect attendance. And I was really, really sick my senior year. And I've probably told a story before where the joy of block scheduling was, this video just turned into a story time. So just get cozy, get some tea, we're gonna have story time. One of the other joys of block scheduling is when I started high school, they required you to have 1.5 credits of PE. And as freshmen, we all had to take PE. So that was my 1 credit. And I knew I was going to have to still take a 1/2 credit of PE, which equaled to be half of a semester. Being me, I just procrastinated and put it off to my senior year. And thankfully, right before my senior year of high school, the state of Florida decided that marching band counted as a PE credit. So I had been in marching band all 4 years of high school. So thus I no longer had to take this 1/2 credit of PE, and I got to take a 1/2 credit of whatever class I wanted, which meant I ended up taking an art class. It's my only time I was ever able to take an art class, because since I was in band, which was an all-year class, and journalism, which was an all-year class, I really didn't have time for electives. So my other classes were pretty much just your math, English, science, the required classes. But that was the one half semester that I got to take a fun class, and I took art. So during that 9-week period where I had art, that was the easiest semester of high school I ever had, because I had art first period. Second period, I was taking a volunteer class, which they offered, where you could put a block of volunteer in your senior year in order to qualify for Florida Brave Futures. This is a lot of details, but Florida Brave Futures when I was young was a full scholarship to one of the state colleges if you had a high enough GPA, a high enough test, like SAT, not GRE, that's grad school, SAT, PSAT score, and volunteer hours. You could get a full scholarship to one of the state colleges, which is what I ended up doing. I ended up getting a full scholarship to UF. You had to qualify. There was a bunch of things you had to do, and one of them was volunteer hours. So my high school had it set up where you could incorporate that into your senior year. So that's what I did. And I was volunteering for my band director, who I'm sure by now you guys know from me talking about him, David. He's still like one of my close friends to this day. So going back to it, first period I had art, so much fun. Second period I had volunteering for David, which was very easy. Like most of the time I was either running instruments back and forth between the middle school and the high school because I could drive, or running various errands for him, or making copies for him, just like organizing band stuff. It was very, very easy. And if there was nothing for me to do, then he and I just sat there and chatted about American Idol or whatever was happening pop culture wise at the time. So a very easy period. Third period I had band, fourth period I had journalism. I had no academics for a 2-month span. It was amazing. But just so happens that during that 2-month span, I got super, super, super sick. Don't know what it was. It wasn't the flu, but I was very sick. I went on antibiotic and I had a reaction to the antibiotic. So on this particular day of school, I was on the other side of being sick. I didn't feel terrible anymore, but the antibiotics, I had like broken out in hives, and specifically on my legs and feet. And our school had a policy that you couldn't wear flip-flops, but I literally couldn't wear any shoes. So I wore jeans and flip-flops to try to hide the flip-flops, and I came to school and I was in so much pain. So I made it through art, and then I got to the band room and David saw me and saw my condition and was like, go home. And I'm like, I can't, I have perfect attendance. I'm like a couple months away from having 7 years of perfect attendance. I cannot go home. I just have to tough it out. And he was like, go home. So he sent me home and he counted me as present for my volunteer class and for band So I had like a 3-hour, actually more than that because lunch would have been in there. So 2 class periods and a lunch break at home, and then I had to come back to school for journalism. But he just like vouched for me and counted me as present and let me go home and not be in misery in school. For what purpose? Like for sitting around in his office making copies, and then for one day of band, he knew I was fine. So that's the story of the one day that I shouldn't have been given credit, but I did. So that's what you get on this day of Vlogmas, is a story about how I somehow conned my way into having perfect attendance. But I did. 7 years of perfect attendance. I got that award and it counted. So that also meant that on senior skip day, I don't know if you guys did senior skip day, but my school did. On senior skip day, there were 3 of us seniors there. There might have been a few others, but in my particular classes, there were 3 of us. And it was the 3 of us who had perfect attendance, and we're just sitting there like, hey, knew you were gonna be here. So let me know down below in the comments if your school did senior skip day, because I wonder if that's still a thing or if schools don't do it anymore, but it was a whole thing. So, all right, well, that was your story time. I'm gonna do the Santa hat questions so you guys can tell me some stories, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for something else. I think tomorrow I have a plan. This one you got story time. I think next one you're gonna get a little something different, but stay tuned. But let's go do some advent. Well, it's time for a Santa hat question. So for December 19th, your question is, what's one Christmas chore that you dread the most? That was an interesting one. Okay, day 19. For the cookies, we have, ooh, something chocolatey. Ooh, mocha chip. Very excited for that one. Day 19, we have organic Saigon chai. Ooh. So obviously I'm not having these now. I'm gonna save them. So when I actually get back, there's gonna be a whole lot of tea and cookies to eat. So we'll talk about this more when I actually go to drink it, but today's was Saigon chai. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's story time and the Advents. I will be back tomorrow with another twist of a video. I actually just filmed the intro for that one, and I have a really fun idea. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I feel like you guys are gonna really like, even though it's not a live vlog tomorrow, I feel like you guys are gonna really like the idea I came up with. So I will see you guys tomorrow for a nice little surprise day 20. Bye.